Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's the real Kale back again with some Mortal Kombat 1 content. Time for a very long overdue video that I've been meaning to do for the longest while. I actually really wanted to get this video out like a week ago, but I just didn't have the spirit to do so. Been dealing with a lot of different things, but I need to get this out because, you know, I guess it's the elephant in the room. Mortal Kombat channel, I guess a lot of people do want to know my opinion of this game currently. So before we get into things, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and sound off in the comment section. Let's get a conversation going. You know, I haven't been as steady with the uploads, so I'm wondering how many people are going to see this video. But if you do see this video, please chime in. Let's start a nice, civil as possible discussion, because what I might say might upset a couple people, or you might agree, but you know what, that's the whole point of discussion. But we're gonna try and keep it as peaceful and polite as we can, and I'll try to keep my points as coherent as possible. I'm completely freestyling this. I didn't write anything down. I'm just going off the cuff right here. So what do I think about Mortal Kombat 1 its current state? So I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube saying they are just very fed up, and they're upset, and they're very vocal about the state of Mortal Kombat 1 currently right now. And I saw the trajectory of this happening. I saw it happening around, I'm gonna say, a little bit after Omni-Man came out. I saw the community's opinions of the game starting to shift around then, but I wasn't too focused on it because I was dealing with a whole bunch of other personal stuff. Some of you might know. So I honestly wasn't. I played the game and I stuck with it, but I wasn't really too concerned. I didn't engage with the whole diaspora of the Mortal Kombat community. Reading people's opinions, you know, looking at tier lists, looking at all sorts of stuff about what's happening with the game. But right now, let me just put it bluntly first. I think Mortal Kombat 1 is a great game. This is a great game. Over the past couple days before Tekken 8 has come out, I've been putting quite a few hours into this game. Just playing it, just getting matches, just getting games. Most of my time is spent in player matches. I think I've made it very clear I'd much rather play player matches than Combat League for, you know, just stress and mental health reasons. Not saying that Combat League is a stressful environment. I just, you know, most of the time when I hop on, I'm not looking to really go that hard. I just want to hit a couple buttons and play the game and not have to worry about somebody, you know, walking back and just playing lane and just being really just a bit too try hard. And like I'm a try hard, so I try hard in casual, but you know, I play around a whole bunch of different characters. I just don't want, you know, my opponent to feel like this game is like their life is on the line. They play like they get paid, and that's how people in Combat League play, and that's how they should play, because that's the competitive mode. But when I play casuals in this game, I could be on this game for hours. I think the last couple times I played this game, I think I played this game for like 4 or 5 hours a session. And now that sounds crazy to you guys. But why? I just think this game is simply fun. I love the combos. I love the characters that I play personally. I play Smoke and Melina. I dabble with Lee May too. The combos are so fun. I love coming up with new stuff. I love making good plays on people. I do like the way the game plays. However, there are faults with the game's like meta and gameplay. I'll talk about that a little bit right now. I personally think the patch that it seemed a lot of people didn't like at first, I feel like people have mostly come around to it and realized that the Cyrax nerf and the Baraka nerf and the Raiden nerf, I personally think the game got a lot more fun for me once those characters got toned down, man. Because they were really annoying when the game first came out. And yeah, I still think, yeah, the game probably did get patched too soon. Maybe, but Bro, it was OD. What Cyrax was doing was OD. What Raiden was doing was OD. Raiden, in my opinion, is still the best character in this game currently. He's by far the easiest one to use as well. Even with the nerf, Baraka is still insane. He has other cameos that allow him to basically do a similar thing that what Cyrax is doing, but it's way less oppressive and it's way easier to deal with overall. It's much more manageable than Cyrax, but it's still such an annoying playstyle. I will say yes, the Baraka Striker players out there, they definitely sniff glue. Okay, they're equivalent to the Jade players right now in MK11. I would say those are the worst. The Raiden Kano players and the Baraka Striker players. Those are to me, those are the top two. Those are the worst type of players that you could run into in MK1 right now. But I think the meta right now, I guess, what would you call this meta right now? I would say the meta might be defined in a game like this where there's assists. The meta is probably going to be defined by the cameos. So I think this is like the Striker Kung Lao meta. Kind of Chameleon's up there too. Chameleon seems to have brought a lot of life back into this game for some people, which we're going to get more into that too. And overall, how I feel about the community. We're going to wrap it up right there. But that's just my opinion on the game. Mortal Kombat 1 is a great game. I think the gameplay is exactly what I wanted. And it's also things that I didn't know I wanted in a Mortal Kombat game. The cameo system has actually blown my mind completely, because I'm typically not an assist fighting game player. I typically play fighting games that are versus. I usually don't really like dealing with all this other extra shit, and it's been a learning process for me with this game, but man, are doing cool setups with your cameo and doing cool setup like cameo combos, it's never gonna get old. It just simply isn't. And at this point, you guys know I play Smoke. I can confidently say I have at least 3 or 4 cameos that I'm comfortable with Smoke, and playing each of those different cameos with Smoke really does make him feel, I wouldn't say like a completely different character, but it just adds a different sauce to him every time, and it just makes him so much fun to mess around with. Same thing with Melina. I play like 3 different cameos with her, and I feel like she changes up completely based on the cameo you have. But anyways, y'all, I think that's what people really want. I think people just want more like better cameo stuff with the game. But anyways, I think the main reason why people are sour on this game currently is because I do think there is a regression in the overall Mortal Kombat package. The package of this game, if you let's just take for instance, right? If you are a casual player who does not play fighting games, you're afraid to play the game online, which is definitely most people who bought this game. You're afraid to play online because you don't know how to play fighting games. You just like how the characters look. You just like a game to play with your friends. You don't want to deal with people online. I get it. Fine, right? But so if you're not playing this game online consistently, I understand there's basically nothing for you to do in this game. At this point, there's actually nothing. Invasions is just not it. It just simply is not. It's a cool way to unlock stuff. Well, I would even say a cool way. It's the simple way to unlock stuff, right? You just do a couple fights but the rewards, they give you shit, but you don't know what you're gonna get from invasions. You don't know what you're getting, and the fights are boring. The fights are absolutely boring and mundane. You're basically fighting the roster with these renamed attributes and these weird modifiers, although the modifiers are heavily toned down and the fights are much faster, but it's so brain dead and easy. It's not engaging at all. If you are a pretty competent Mortal Kombat player, fighting this AI is so boring. And here's the thing, I'm not going to hold it against the game too much, because I mostly find fighting AI in most fighting games at this point, because of the skill level that I find fighting the AI for the most part boring. So I think that's something that FGC games, just fighting games in general, need to really work on, how to make AI engagement more manageable, and just more fun, even at the highest of levels. And I'm not talking about let's just give them a bunch. They gave the AI a bunch of HP, make them do these crazy, impossible to hit combos and input redo. Can we make it more engaging overall? I feel like Tekken 8 has basically done a lot of what I just said. They've made that a very, very enjoyable, and I think that's another reason why I feel like people are upset. When you look at Tekken 8 and you look at Street Fighter 6, and it does disappoint me to say this as a Mortal Kombat fan. I think as an overall package, those two games offer more than Mortal Kombat 1 right now. They really do. Mortal Kombat 1 has very outdated online features. We don't have online practice mode. Granted, that's not something I would use very often, but I know there's a lot of people out there would use that. We don't have online lobbies. The fact that you don't have lobbies, rooms, something that was there since Mortal Kombat 9 is absolutely heinous. They deserve 500 lashes for that. That is ridiculous, in my opinion. If someone, like me, a YouTuber, that's something that can be very helpful if I want to play with a bunch of people, but I can't right now. King of the Hill, apparently there's no practice mode. And that's one of the reasons why I don't play King of the Hill, because I rather not sit around waiting to get matches in this game. I rather just play the game. I don't want to sit and watch other people fight. I rather just play the game. The connections at launch were weirdly bad. Like, I cannot believe how bad the online play was on this game at launch. The online was not good. I would say after like a month or two, it actually smoothed out for me, and it even got better. Kudos to them. They added in our Wi-Fi and ping filter into ranked. Shout out to them. I'm actually going to give them a round of applause for that. Yes, it should have been there at launch, but the fact that they got that out before the year was over, amazing. And honestly, at this point, MK1's online has been damn near flawless for me personally. I have not had any bad connections in this game. I can definitely control them. Wi-Fi players are getting declined left and right for me. I'm playing people on wire connections. The connections feel great. Sometimes I'm generous and I'll play a Wi-Fi player if the ping looks pretty good. And you know what? The ping is great. So MK1's online in its current state right now is good. However, I hear that there was this big desync issue going on in Combat League. This is going to sound crazy. I did not experience that one bit, but I didn't play Combat League. And I know that's the reason why I didn't play it, but I didn't play it. Combat League. I played Player Match, and I had a lot of fun learning the characters, getting better with the characters that I play, learning my cameos, just improving my skill instead of just going into rank, trying to, sweat. I'd rather play a first to 10 or something rather than a first to 2 and, somebody just rob me of my wins and shit. That's just the way I like to play the game. Overall, the desync issue came at an awful time. I'm not excusing them for it. I think that's another reason why people's opinions and emotions are high tempered with Mortal Kombat. That desync issue got everybody super grouchy and pissed everyone off. It came at a horrible time. I think it started, from what I'm remembering, it started somewhere in the middle of December, and it only recently got fixed. So it was over a month that this game, you couldn't really play ranked because you would just get desynced and the connection would just drop, and that's uncalled for. Over a month. They put out a patch saying it was fixed, and in that first patch didn't do anything, and that's a bad look for a game, for a big AAA game, for a publisher like Warner Brothers. It is a awful look that they could not get that as fixed as possible. Also, their communication on the issue was piss poor. Truthfully, their communication on this game is piss poor in general. We don't know what's happening, and they've kept us in the dark for so long before this game even came out. Just the marketing and the promo was much slower and much more, I'm going to say, rushed compared to the previous releases they've had. I felt like they literally waited to the last minute to show us shit about this game. And you know what? Looking back at it, there were some red flags that, myself included, and even members of the community, we just simply ignored because we were so fucking thirsty for another NRS game, and we actually did like the way this game was played. But with that information now, I think a lot of the community just simply has their guard up, and we feel betrayed. They feel betrayed that we waited, we were patient with you guys, we gave y'all honest feedback on what we want for the next game, and they let Street Fighter and Tekken steal their thunder. I'm saying this as a Mortal Kombat fan. We'll put this on my grave. Real Mortal Kombat fan. I think Mortal Kombat is better than Street Fighter and Tekken. And it's right now, Tekken and Street Fighter, Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 are much better games than Mortal Kombat 1. And that's simply because of the package that all those games offer. I'm not looking at the gameplay in itself. I personally think Mortal Kombat 1 is still the most fun game, but then I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, right? That's cool. A Tekken dude is going to play Tekken, a Street Fighter fan is going to play Street Fighter, a Mortal Kombat fan is going to play Mortal Kombat. That's never going to change. There's not going to be any real objective discourse around that. This is all subjective stuff. But if I have to just look at it as like what each game's offer, let's say somebody from the outside looking in who's not a fan of either of the three, Mortal Kombat is absolutely lacking because we just don't have the stuff that they have, and it's heartbreaking to see. And the big reason why it's so heartbreaking, because we were leading the command. I definitely would say we were leading over Tekken and Street Fighter in all those other departments. We at one point we had a better single player. We had better single player content with the towers, with the customization, with we had better content with the online. We had better modes. Our online functionality was just better, but rollback is the standard now. You know, every game has rollback now. I know not every game's rollback is the same. You know, you can still have shitty rollback and have a bad online, but we got the shitty rollback for a while, and that sucked. It hurt. Games crossplay seems to be the standard now. Like, we don't have crossplay yet. At least they were transparent with us with that from the jump, but we just don't have it. Tekken and Street Fighter has crossplay. Tekken and Street Fighter has lobbies. We don't have lobbies. Tekken and Street Fighter have online practice, and you can play practice while you wait for games. We can't do that. There's just the features and the content is a complete mismatch, and that's why the community is upset. We're seeing all these other communities have these brand new games come out fresh, have all this stuff come out. It's great, and then we're just looking at our game and we're just like, do something, and NRS is not saying anything. I think what NRS needs to do, they need to communicate a lot more with us. I would love to hear like a roadmap of what they plan on bringing. Not just the DLC. We kind of know their DLC formula right now. The DLC formula seems to be one character a month, and then the cameo, which means I'll leave this with a positive note right here. I'll leave this with a positive note. The positive note is that this game, we're going to be getting something with this game leading up until the 1 year anniversary. Because, you know, if we're getting Peacemaker next month, which is in February, we're going to be getting the next cameo in March. And then we're going to be getting Ermac in April. And then the next cameo in May. And then, I guess, Homelander in June. And then the next cameo in July. Then Takeda in August. And the next cameo in September. If they keep following that release schedule, the game's going to be getting something for a long time. And the game is going to be alive because we still have things coming. Right? But I do think besides those characters, there needs to be something in there to keep us going. And that's going to take with meta balance patches. I think the overall consensus is that we want the cameos to be crazier. You know, and we'll get back to that. We'll loop back that around. I think that's the overall consensus. I overall agree, but be careful with what you wish for. That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful with what you wish for. We want just more features and game modes. We want to be able to play with our friends no matter the console. We want online practice. We just want cooler and tighter features. The microtransactions didn't help at all when they were selling what, $20 fatalities. That did not help at all. They were very aggressive with that, with the game being already thin bare in content and unlocks. Them saying, hey, give us more money, it felt like a slap in the face. And I'm not saying that it was okay, because other people, other developers, other games do it. It seems to be a very big thing now with these big AAA games and in these video games. Street Fighter did it, I would say, did it worse, because they're what is it, the character pack 3 for the costumes. I think the costumes were literally like $10 a pop per person. Like, that shit was insane, and their roster is like 18. So you do the math, guys, on how much that entire thing costs. It was crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna leave y'all with this point. I also think our community is just simply fickle, and it sucks. Our community, we flip-flop. We can't make up our mind. We don't know what we want. Half the community likes this, half the community likes that. It's hard to keep us happy. It truly is. We're a very fickle community. We have so many fans. It is impossible to satisfy all of us. And I just simply think that this game is just not gonna scratch everybody's itch. That's the thing about Mortal Kombat and NRS games. Their games are always so different that you might not like the you might like the previous one, you might not like the next one. I simply just think that this game might not float anyone's boat, just like how MK11 did not float people's boat, just because of the cameo system. Some people liked MK11 because shorter combos, focus on whiff punishing, but some people didn't like it because they had short combos and focus on whiff punishing. You know, it sucks, right? I think real Mortal Kombat fans are going to learn and adapt. Like me, I've learned to adapt to this assist-based fighting game, and turns out I really loved it. But we're such a fickle community. Like, I literally remember on Twitter, literally the day before before Chameleon came out, everyone was shitting on Mortal Kombat 1. People were saying this, there were people saying that. I'm dropping the game. I can't take this no more. This game is trash. And then Chameleon comes out. I'm seeing literally all over my feed nothing but tech videos saying, oh my god, this character is amazing. Oh my god, this character is amazing. This is so much fun. This is what we want for the cameos. This is that. And it's just like, all it took was a cameo for you guys to start appreciating some shit and say some positive things about the game. And it made me feel like, yo, we definitely have like Stockholm Syndrome or something, or at least not me. I feel like my opinions on the game have been consistent since day one, but a lot of people on here are just, they can't speak like regularly about some shit. It's either something is amazing or it's completely trash. It's this weird hyperbole. Like, nobody can just say truly how they feel about something. They just gotta, you know, glorify it. I'm probably using sensationalize it just to get a couple clicks, get a couple likes. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is when you're one of the biggest communities for a video game out there, and it sucks. But overall, guys, let me know what you guys think about the state of Mortal Kombat 1. I know this got very rambly, but I did this off the cuff because I had a lot to say and I need to get this off my chest. But to summarize my points, I think the game is great. However, there's flaws, because the competition this year in terms of fighting games is fierce. NRS cannot be lazy and complacent like how they were with this release. I really do feel like they took us for granted. And yes, they're going to be the highest selling fighting game and one of the highest selling games this year, and they were one of the highest selling games last year. But Tekken and Street Fighter, they're not fucking around. They want to steal some of our thunder, and that's one of the reasons why the community and the player base did not grow for this game. Our community's fucking fickle as shit. The game's meta can use definitely livening up a bit, and just overall, I think some people are just simply not gonna like this game. But overall, the game is not this horrible piece of shit that some people are making it out to be. I think a lot of people are just being very exaggerative, and NRS games are just, you know, we're the whipping boy of the SGC. You know, we're seeing like the Call of Duty players of fighting games. But anyways, y'all, let me know what you guys think about Mortal Kombat 1 in its current state. I know the next patch, this for a lot of people, it's do or die. I'm gonna say it's just do, or you know, I'll just play something else until I come back, because I ain't never gonna stop playing Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna be on Tekken 8 from here and then, because Tekken 8 is fantastic. Expect videos on Tekken 8, and expect a couple more MK videos. But anyways, y'all, it's been theRealKaaayle. Thank you all for watching and listening to my speech. Thank you to listening to my TED Talk. Have a good rest of your day. Stay real, y'all. Peace.